what we got here. Another one. I thought we were all done for the season. Got a couple more down here. Big one. Wow, look at that cucumber. It's huge. Look at that. There's another one coming right there. Another right there. Tomatoes. Yeah, look like we'll have a side of squash for dinner too. Oh, we'll let that grow a little bit longer. Yeah. Tomatoes. Oh wow, it's a whole lot right there. Another pepper coming. Green bell pepper. And some yellow green beans. These feel healthy too. Today was a harvest day for my garden, so I decided to get out early this Sunday morning and harvest some of my veggies and my fruits. And I decided to, so I tend to talk to myself when I'm gardening. I talk to myself anytime anyway, but I decided to bring you all into the conversations in my garden. That's what we're gonna call this. Yeah, I kind of like that. Conversations in my garden. So I have tomatoes, strawberries. I've got all the herbs. I've got cilantro, parsley, basil. I've got zucchini, squash, eggplant, purple bell pepper, green bell pepper, red and yellow bell pepper, green beans. I've got beefsteak tomato, cherry tomato. What else? Watermelon, cantaloupe. What else we got? These strawberries, marigolds to keep the pest away. There's a bunch of stuff in here, and I love it. I love it. So this is year 4 for my garden. Who taught me how to garden? My dad. Who taught me how to cook? My mom and my grandma. Oh, I'm losing. Shoot, I'm losing tomato. This was year 2 for strawberries for me, and I learned that they spread like crazy. A lot of time the weeding happens when my dad stops over here, and we'll just come out here and we'll weed together. And yep, so dad taught me about cross-pollination, and like when it comes to the cucumbers or the squash and the zucchini, how you can cross-pollinate. For the cross-pollination, you take the male and the female. One of them has 1 bud, the other has 2. You put them together in a pod, and that's how you cross-pollinate to get more. Check it out, look at that. I see a purple bell pepper over there. So one thing that I've learned is the same way classical music is good for us to study to create to write to, it's actually really good for plants too. So when I'm out here, sometimes I will play music and classical music, and like the plants love it. They thrive, and I've really got really good soil at my house too. So in my backyard, I have really good soil. So they do well anyway. But even in my house, like I play classical music for the plants in my house, and I've got some really strong plants in the house. I'm telling you, you guys should try it. If you're not doing it already, just play some classical music occasionally, and just, pay attention to how, how abundant the growth is over time. And talk to your plants too. So for instance, we are all energetic beings. You know, we all know that. It's all about the vibrations and things like that. So have you guys ever done the rice test? So you take 2 jars of rice, cooked rice. You put, you know, half of the rice in one jar, half in the other. And over time, just go and just, you know, the one jar, you know, label it negative, you know, and then the other jar, label it positive. And over time, you know, go to each jar and say loving things, positive things, you know, words of affirmation to the positive jar, and then to the negative jar, you know, take out your frustrations on that jar, you know, like all the negative stuff that you can think of, or say you're having a bad day, go talk to that jar. And then over time, you will see the negative jar start to change color. It'll take on more of a, so the negative jar will take on more of like a dark color, like a brown or a black, depending on how much anger and frustration and negativity you put into that you know, the energy that you put into that jar. So it'll take on more of like a brown or black color, and the positive jar will remain its natural, you know, cooked rice color. And but that's very much how plants are too. You know, if it's in the right environment and it's cultivated, you know, with words of affirmation and loving touches and attention and care, and you know, and you're being consistent with the watering and the sunlight and giving it what that plant needs, it's going to thrive. And so yeah, so I play music for my plants. So really, I mean, it's for me and the plants, but you know, I'll share. And but yeah, you know, we can cultivate our plants the same way that we can cultivate, you know, our children and our mentee staff. So anyway, yeah, all about cultivating with positive things. You know, whatever you want to grow, give it positive things. You know, if you don't want something to grow, don't give it attention. You know, don't give it attention. Don't give it what it needs. Don't, you know, don't cultivate it, and it won't grow. And I'm very intentional about the things, the situation, and the people that I give attention to. My children, I give them the utmost attention and care, and they thrive. My plants, you know, they get the care. You know, my business, my career, it will grow if you give it the right kind of time and attention. And relationships too, you know, pour into it, take care of it, cultivate it, and it will grow. I am a firm believer that we should always speak what we wish to see, not what we don't. For instance, my eggplant, one of them, I've got 4 out here, is just not doing well, and I know it's because the zucchini and the zucchini leaves have been blocking the sunlight from some of them. So you know, I'm gonna speak some affirmations, and I'm gonna give it the attention that it needs, and I'm gonna remove the barrier so that it can, you know, grow and do what it needs to do to thrive. This leaf is going to do well. It's going to heal, and it's going to get the sunlight and the soil and the minerals and things that it needs to thrive. And you are going to be so strong and beautiful and healthy. You are strong and beautiful and healthy. So I bought some neem oil today because plants in my house, this stuff works so good. The plants in my house, 3 of them, I repotted them with some soil from the store, and had some bugs and things like that. So I went and got some of this. I'm going to use it. I hear it's good. I've never used it, but it's the most natural thing on the market, and it's harmless to plants. I'm going to use it on my house plants. Like I said, I've probably got like 20 house plants, but I'm going to use it on the 3 that were recently potted, because they're not doing so. They're doing okay. I'll show you. So got a snake plant here, and still strong, growing well, but we've got some little plant flies in there, and I don't want that in my house. So I brought it out here to dry it out. I'm gonna dry the soil out completely. first. That's what it's doing outside. And my money tree was thriving not that long ago, and but I brought it out here to the sun, to the yard, and unfortunately I forgot about it, and this is what happened. I didn't forget about it, I just got busy. But yeah, it doesn't take long for the sun to fry money tree leaves. But I've got the magic touch, and we will bring her back to life. I'm going to dry her out completely, as well as this one here. It's hurt by the sun, but we're going to revive her, and she'll be just fine, just like she was before. But I just needed to dry them out completely. If you deal with plant flies, it's one of the best things that you can do, because sometimes it's due to overwatering, or maybe the soil, that you put in it that's from the store. And so just drying it out. And if you guys have any other suggestions aside from drying the plant out and using neem oil for these plant flies, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, maybe I'll update you on the next video. So I'm all done weeding for the day. I think I'm gonna get some reading time in before I wrap up for the night. Y'all like my shirt? Yes. So I got that last year on a family trip to Selma, Alabama. And that will be another video, a really great video, by the way. So the book that I'm gonna read from tonight is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I actually started this book last year. And disclaimer, I tend to read 2 to 3 books at a time. So if I say that I started this book last year, it's probably because I finished 2 other in the past year. So if you've read this book, then you already know how amazing this book is. It's really, really good. I'm on page 176. So today's content was a little different than every other video that I've posted, but I said in 2023 I wanted to connect and be a lot more intentional. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to post, whatever it is that I'm into, health, wellness, spirituality, gardening, books, design, art, decor. So in real life, I am all about inspiration, education, a little bit of entertainment and fun. So I'm going to just share me. So if there was something that you liked about this video, share it in the comments. Let me know what you want to see more of. So yeah, you never know. The next video may be in my garden, maybe in the backyard, maybe in the house, maybe on a trip, but I will continue to share more. And remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe.